everybody, Sophia here from My Great Challenge. Welcome back to my channel. Today is day number 29 and I am making a dessert recipe. This is an apple triple berry cobbler. If you are not familiar with what a cobbler is, it's pretty much like a clafoutis in Europe. It is a pie dish with biscuits on the top, and you just scoop it out. It's delicious when it's still warm. You can serve it with whipped cream or ice cream. I'm making this today because I want to try out this recipe I found from the Food Network. I'll put the link down below. The reason why I'm trying it out is because I may want to do it again for Thanksgiving and the holidays. So let's get started. I'm going to give you first all of the ingredients for the pie itself, and then we're going to cook that, and after that I'm going to give you the ingredients for the topping, and then we'll make that as well. So let's get started. So here we go. Here are the ingredients for the cobbler, but just the filling for now, and then I'll move on to giving you the ingredients for the toppings. So what do you need? You need 3 pounds of crisp tart apple. We picked Empire apple because they are Scott's favorite, and of course this one doesn't have the sticker. Let's find one with a sticker. Here we go. Empire apples. These are from New York State. They are absolutely delicious. They have just the right combination of sweet and tart. They are wonderful for pies. They really are. I recommend those. You need the equivalent of 1.5 to 2 cups worth of fresh berries. Here I have blackberry, raspberry, and blueberries. You can put strawberries if you want. Not a big deal, but they have to be a mix. This is 2/3 of a cup of granulated sugar. These are 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. We are only using that for dusting purposes. 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. This is 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. This is 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And this is a full tablespoon of ground cinnamon. And then I'm not making the dough. I bought already made dough. You just, they sell them in packs of 2. You just need 1 pack of dough. That's it. So what are we gonna do? Basically we cook the dough first and then we prepare the filling. First things first, I'm going to start my oven and bake at 350 degrees. And yes, you were right and I was wrong. It was not daytime saving yesterday. It's next week. So to prepare the dough, I'm going to use a Corningware square dish. This is the perfect size for a cobbler. So what I'm going to do first is spray the bottom of it, and then I'm putting a little bit of flour, and that's what they call dusting. It's basically to keep my dough nice in the pan without sticking. Then I'm going to unroll my dough. This is pie crust, and if I don't have enough, guess what I'm going to do? I'll use 2. So it looks like I'm gonna have to use 2. So here's 1. So I'm not too worried if the edges don't fill up, because it's a cobbler, it's not really a pie. I'm just going to roll these here and there. If you have a dish that's less deep, you can just crumple your dough all around it. A little bit extra here. I'm going to put it right here. What I'm going to do now is pre-cook the dough, so I want to do some holes in there, otherwise it gets so soggy. So what I'm going to do is line this and add some weight. Beans, dry beans usually work best for this. Just to give a little bit of weight on the dough. And what I'm going to do is put it in the oven and let it cook for about 20 minutes, and then I will remove the entire foil here and I will cook it for another 10 minutes. So 20 minutes. We got 3 pounds of crisp apple. You see how I'm folding them so that every one of these little cubes here gets enough granulated sugar, and then the lemon juice is in there not just to add a little bit of tartness to it, it's also keeping the apples from browning. So I'm going to move on to my stove because we're getting another Corningware big pot, and we're going to cook the apples with the rest of the ingredients. So this is my big Corningware 5 quart. I'm going to put my 3 tablespoons of butter in there. Gonna let it melt a little bit, and what I want to do is basically cook the apples that I just sliced. Put that in there. That'll take about 10 to 12 minutes. Make sure I get all of my butter. I want to stir occasionally, and you want them to soften basically. So I'm letting these cook for about 12 minutes. I want all the butter to melt. I want them to soften a little bit. And then once I see that they're starting to soften, a good 10-12 minutes into it, I will then add my cinnamon, my salt, and the rest of the flour that's going to thicken the apple and the sauce really. Then I will fold in my berries and cook for another 10 minutes. So while my apples are cooking, I'm going in my oven and I'm going to carefully remove the beans, and I'm going to let my dough cook a little bit more for 10 more minutes. And my apples are starting to soften, so what I'm going to do is add my cinnamon, salt, and the flour. That's going to thicken the sauce. I'm just going to fold the berries. I don't want to crunch them like this. Okay, so let's cover this. I'm going to turn it off and put it to the side because I have to start making the topping. And here are the ingredients for the topping. You need 1 cup of all-purpose flour. You need 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar. This is 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Here is 1/8 of a tablespoon of baking soda, a pinch of salt, a pinch of ground nutmeg. You need 4 tablespoons of soft unsalted butter, which you're going to cut in little tiny pieces like this. And this is a 1/2 cup of buttermilk. And guess what? We're basically making biscuits. So we're going to add all the ingredients together. Here's the flour, the sugar, here's the baking powder, baking soda, salt, and nutmeg. Stir all my dry ingredients together. And to this, I'm going to add my butter. Start mixing everything and then add the buttermilk. And this is going to make biscuit dough. So if you want to, you can go at it with your fingers. You start with the spoon, that's going to might take a little bit longer, so here we go. Let's use our fingers. Okay, so we're back at the stove. I've let my pie filling cool a little bit and the pie dough is done. There we go, pre-cooked. And what I'm going to do now is basically fill my dish with my pie filling. If you want to, you can add a little bit of butter over it. Just sprinkle it like this. Little dollops of butter. the equivalent of 1 tablespoon basically. You don't have to if you think that's too much butter. That's fine. So now I'm taking my dough topping and I'm putting the equivalent of little spoonfuls like this of dough over it. And it's going to be enough because remember, we're making biscuits, so they're going to expand. Is it going to cover fully? No. And that's fine. This is called turbinado sugar. It's kind of like a crystallized brown sugar. And what you want to do is just sprinkle the top of your pie, or your cobbler rather, with it, in particular the biscuits. My oven is still at 350 degrees and I'm going to put my pie directly onto my metal dish. You see that? Because it might overflow, and that's going to cook for 50 minutes. Now, if you start to see your biscuits browning too fast or too much, all you have to do is put aluminum foil over it and that's it. So I will see you in 50 minutes. So it's been a little bit over 50 minutes, I would say 55, 56 minutes. I didn't have to cover it, and here it is. Apple berry cobbler. Now, you have to wait. You can't eat it right now. You have to let it cool down. And it has to set because it's, I'm not gonna say it's like a jelly in it, but you remember I put the flour in it. So what happens is that if I cut it now, it's gonna get all runny and you don't want that. So we're going to let it cool for a good hour and come back and taste it. But what do you think so far? Doesn't it look awesome? Let's try this cobbler. It's still a little bit runny, but that's okay. Just want to try it. Ooh, you see the steam coming out. The kids are gonna be so happy when they come home. Here is the cobbler, apple and berries, and there's a little bit of cinnamon in the biscuit. So you know, if you wanted to, you could do just peach, or you could do apple and pears, or you could do just berries, or you could do rhubarb, strawberry rhubarb, whatever fruit you want. It's the same principle, really. All right, let's try. Oh wow. Oh man, this is so good. Oh, this is really good. I love the tartness to it. It's just the right balance of tart and sweet. Oh man, I don't know, I'm gonna stay away from this. Oh, this is good. Oh, the biscuit on top is even better. Oh, this is really good, guys. You gotta try it. You gotta try this recipe. This is awesome. Wow. I'm definitely making this again. Oh wow. Okay, so this was my apple and berry cobbler recipe, which I took from Food Network. It's down below if you want the full recipe so you can print it. I'm telling you, this is one of the best ones I've done. Oh wow. You don't even need ice cream. This is perfect just the way it is. Awesome recipe. Okay, so you guys, if you like this video, give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe right here in the corner. And if you have recipe requests, drop them down below and I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.